Some ordinary dad goes to a concert with his daughter to enjoy the live performance of the singer that the daughter is totally obsessed with, but he soon discovers that the whole event was planned in order to catch a notorious serial killer who, according to the intel of the FBI, is going to attend this very concert. Now here's the main thing, this guy is the serial killer, and you might probably think, that's a huge spoiler to the movie, but no, that's the whole premise of it. What's up everybody, this is the Cinema Resident. Recently I watched Trap, the latest movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan, and I think that we finally got something interesting from him. Let's get into it. First of all, Trap has a really unique concept. There are many films out there where we see police detectives trying to catch serial killers by tracking them down and trying to predict their next move. Zodiac and Seven are great examples of that. In these movies, we connect with main characters and follow along on their path in uncovering all the killer's mysteries and preventing him from hurting more people by bringing him into custody as soon as possible. Yet in this case, it's the main character who is the villain, a maniac with a twisted mind who has realized that he got himself into a trap, and now, in terms of viewers' perspective, it's us against the police. So just like I said, he finds out that the whole place is literally crawling with cops and special forces who came exactly for him. They control all the exits, they check everyone both inside the stadium and on the way out, they have almost every square inch of the place under heavy surveillance, so he has to act fast before the concert is over and find a way out. And when things just couldn't get any more impossibly difficult for him, he's there with his daughter who has absolutely no idea who her father really is, having the time of her life, so he cannot just leave any minute all by himself. Summarizing my viewing experience, I'd say that it was truly engaging watching him come up with ideas on how to outsmart the police, by creating all kinds of diversions in order to cause panic and create breaches in their strategies. The whole thing has this edge of a seat vibe where you're always in the middle of some kind of planning / executing, and later you discover whether this specific attempt had paid off for him. Josh Hartnett is truly captivating here. I think he had done an excellent job in portraying a killer who is in constant stress because of the fear of getting caught, which makes his sick mind come up with all kinds of crazy ideas to escape the trap he's in. However, not all the aspects of the movie are that good. Unfortunately, at some point it gets super disappointing. But before I tell you all about it, if you think that all the aspects of this video are good, then definitely click the like button below and subscribe to the channel if you still haven't. So come on, now is the right time, we still have much to cover. While Josh Hartnett hands down has the best performance in the film, I still have to say that his character is not properly written. It would have been so cool to get to know more about his past and how he ended up being a psychopath who goes out murdering people. There's a tiny bit of insight on this, but it's just not enough. What is more, in the majority of cases, we get to know how brutal he is only by listening to other people describing all the horrible things he's done, which is a big letdown because it would have been so much better for the viewing experience to witness some of his terrible actions on screen for us to be truly terrified of what he's capable of. But as a result, we only get some information from locals and the police, so we get the gist that the guy is extremely dangerous. Very lame in my opinion. Moving on, M. Night's daughter Selika has once again collaborated with her father on creating a soundtrack for his project. Yet this time she also plays a character in the movie called Lady Raven, a well-known pop singer whose concert was controlled by the police. While the songs written for her on-screen performance were alright and Selika looks like a star on stage, her character actually has a much more significant impact on the story with a noticeable amount of screen time. Sadly, her acting just wasn't convincing and authentic to certain situations her character was in. So I guess it was just an experience during her first time playing a role in the movie. And as for the portrayals of other characters, there are no highlights honestly. Everyone did great, nothing to report here. It's fair to say that Trap can be divided into two parts based on some key elements that happen in the movie, with the first one being great in terms of suspense, thrill, and overall engagement. Your eyes are almost glued to the screen because you're dying to know what's gonna happen with each next minute in the plot, and you can't stop thinking whether he's gonna escape the concert or get caught in the end. The second part is all about the build-up for the finale, the climax, the answers to the big questions that were gathered while following everything that happened before. and the part where all the Shyamalan's plot twists emerge. And it was such a letdown watching how all of it was executed. The majority of my issues with this part of the film are tied to plot twists, which in my opinion are totally illogical and weird, making its intense climax shallow and super disappointing. It would be hard for me to describe all my dissatisfaction with the film without diving into spoilers, so in a few moments I'm gonna start talking about it. If you wish to keep these details hidden from yourself, then proceed to the ending of this review, and if you don't care, you were warned, I'm talking about the spoilers. So during the final stage of the concert, Cooper confronts Lady Raven by revealing that he's the killer that the police is actively searching for, forcing her to invite him and his daughter Riley into her limo in order to discreetly drive him away from the police. Unexpectedly for him, Lady Raven tells the driver to get them straight to their house, and Cooper can't really say anything against it because Riley's going absolutely crazy about her favorite singer coming over to their place. At the house, Lady Raven steals Cooper's phone, locks herself in the bathroom and starts a live stream revealing the location of Cooper's latest hostage and calls the police to the address she's at. Next thing we see, the team of special forces gets Cooper's family and Lady Raven out of the house and enters it FBI open up style. We see this process from the family's perspective. Everyone stands on the front yard watching the police tactically infiltrate the house from multiple angles, while Lady Raven is sitting in the empty limo, feeling relieved that everything's almost over. Suddenly, some special forces operator gets in the vehicle in order to drive her away from the scene, and you probably guessed who this is. By some miracle, Cooper managed to escape the house that is crawling with cops by eliminating one of the operators inside and dressing himself in their uniform. Driving himself out of there, Cooper handcuffs Lady Raven to the limo's door, but she manages to break free pretty soon after and screams for help so the crowd of people they were driving by at the moment could hear her. Her attempt pays off. She gets out of the car, the police have arrived right in time, and once again, Cooper is completely surrounded. Now listen closely. Cops open the limo's door and see that he's not inside. By some insane freaking miracle, Cooper got out of the car, which had at least 5 assault rifles pointed at sights right at his seat, without a single eye noticing that. I thought I was watching a clever thriller all this time, not a magician's performance where a rabbit magically disappears from the box it's in. By that point, my engagement was dropped down pretty bad and I was very frustrated by how everything was unfolding. Yet I was so unprepared for the last hit this movie was about to punch me with. The big twist that had the task to shock the viewers to their bones. And you know what? It genuinely shocked me. Shocked me by how incredibly illogical and absurd it was. Check this out, everyone. After Cooper escapes once again, the next thing he does is return to his house. The thing that even the dumbest criminal in the world wouldn't even consider doing because it is the first place that will be overlooked by the police. There he has a conversation with his wife, who reveals that she was the one who shared the intel that the killer is going to attend the concert. At first she was suspecting Cooper of having an affair, but then started to piece some stuff together, some extremely obvious stuff, and realized that he might be that serial killer who terrorizes the city. So what she did was not handing him over to the police for questioning. Instead, she let him go to that concert, having her daughter with him, and informed the police only about his presence there without giving his description, forcing everyone to play hide and seek with the guy and tried as hard as they can to identify their target. I remember being kind of speechless at that moment, seeing this movie as an innovative project which is super interesting to watch destroy all the great stuff it has with these dumb decisions on how to bring the story to an end, with this wife plot twist dragging it even further into the abyss. Next thing I saw was him being tased by the cops who arrived on the scene, managing to brutally pop one of the officer's eyes with his hands in the process, and still being tased after that, not having a couple of mags unloaded straight into his body, weirdly enough. He then was escorted to the armored truck, which he escaped from as well, but I'm not gonna explain the way he did it because it is yet another silly magic trick that no one freaking saw, and the movie actually ends on this scene without properly finishing it. So it's a great cliffhanger by M. Night Shyamalan whether he actually escaped the police. Trap can be seen as a pretty unique and interesting thriller that uses concepts which can be hard to come across in other movies of the same genre. Unfortunately, its extremely intriguing and captivating story gets completely obliterated by its finale, with an overwhelming amount of narrative assumptions and plot twists that make everything so absurd that you can't put a blind eye on this any longer and keep enjoying your experience. If you're a fan of M. Night Shyamalan's work, you'll definitely like this movie as well. As for everyone else, Trap has its significant ups and severe downs. Don't set your expectations too high and you might get something positive out of your viewing experience and even like it as well. For me personally, it was a big letdown which I didn't see coming. Despite all the previous misses Shyamalan had with his work, I really hope that this one would turn out to be just fine from start to finish. Thanks for watching everyone. Definitely let me know what you think of Trap in the comments down below. Give me all you've got, I'm curious. And if you still haven't pressed the like button and subscribed to the channel, now is the right time to do so. Anyway, it's been the Cinema Resident. Until next time.